Hello and welcome to Master Your Mindset with your host Isis Foster. This is the place to be for anyone who is on a personal development journey. I will be sharing with you my own mindset hacks and personal past experiences. Please subscribe and share if you enjoy what I'm about to share with you and you've taken value from it. You never know who may need to hear it. Welcome back, my lovelies. I am literally so excited for this week's episode of Master Your Mindset because today we're going to be covering a topic which I know is going to help so many of you. I know a lot of you struggle with this particular area, and I know that this is a podcast episode which is going to help so many of you overcome those struggles. So today I'm going to be sharing with you how you can create an environment in which you can best thrive in. So your initial reaction to this, I guess, is, but I already have a really good environment, and I really do hope that is the case. But there is always things that we can tweak and change and improve upon the environments that we currently have. So this episode, I'm going to be sharing with you 4 different areas of environments in which that you can improve upon. So we're going to be covering your work environment, your home environment, your social environments, and your personal environments. So these, as you can probably already guess, these are all already combined in one way or another. But I'm going to be showing you how you can change little things and tweak little things that your environments currently have in order to best thrive in yourself. So let's do a little bit of a background, because every week I like to talk about a topic which is really relevant and something that I have actually experienced myself, as well as a lot of clients that I coach as well. I like to speak about common themes, which I know the majority of people probably would like to improve upon. So creating environments that you can thrive in, I think a lot of people struggle with this because day-to-day life looks very similar for most people. There's not really much change in what you do day to day. For example, you probably go to work, you come back, you have your nighttime routine, and then you do it all over again Monday to Friday, and then you do whatever you like on the weekend. So having an environment in which you can thrive in allows you just to improve certain areas of your life, which will make you feel so much better about doing those things. I speak to a lot of people who don't necessarily enjoy what they do Monday to Friday, and then they party a lot at the weekend to try to mask how they feel during the week. So if that is you, this is going to be an episode which is going to really help you overcome how you feel during the week, and in fact change little things about what your day-to-day life looks like so that you don't have to mask how you feel during the week at the weekend. And I know for me personally, I have been in that exact position, so I'm actually speaking from experience. Everything that I say to you on this podcast is because I have been through it myself and experienced it, and have managed to change and improve different areas of my life in order to now today live a life which I absolutely love, and I don't feel like I have to mask any area of it because everything is in balance, if that makes sense. So work life, let's begin there. A lot of us will work a job and then come home and then do our own things in the evening, and then repeat that Monday to Friday. So creating an environment in which you can best thrive in regards to work, you need to really enjoy where you're working. So that doesn't mean you need to absolutely love your job, but it just means that your physical environment around you, your desk, the cleanliness of the office, if you're working in an office, or if you work from home, are things in a place to allow you to use your full potential. Because if they're not, move them. Like, I know for me, I am very minimalistic and I hate loads of clutter. So there is no way that I would be able to sit down and work from home if all my laundry was out, or if there was loads of things drying on the side, or if things went in the right place. And that's just me personally. I know not everyone is like that, and maybe I am a little bit OCD and want things in exactly the right order, but I know that I would not be able to serve my best kind of work, or be able to create the quality of work that I wanted to do if things were not in the right order. I would have a complete mental block, and all I would be focusing on whilst I was creating my work was, I wish that was there, or I wish that I'd put my washing away, or I wish that I had done something that I hadn't currently done. So if you're working in a space and things aren't exactly how you want them to be, move them before you create any work, because I promise you now, the quality of work that you produce will be 10 times better if the environment and the space that you are visually looking at is where you want it to be and looks exactly how you want it to look. And I think this is also important if you work in an office space, because depending on what your office looks like, you have got the flexibility to move things around and move things to a position which allows you to feel comfortable. So let's say, for example, if your desk was facing the wall, but you know you work better when you see daylight and you've got a view, then move your desk to a window so you can look out and you have the light coming in and you feel revitalized, because there is nothing worse than doing a job that you already don't enjoy and being in an environment that makes you feel uncomfortable, because 9 times out of 10, these are all things that can be altered around. It's just taking that first step in order to change the current environment and the environment that you're used to in order to make you feel better in the long run. So just linking on from your work environment, if you work in an office, after work, you're going to come home. And if you're working from home, you're going to be in your home environment anyway. So you're going to then switch off, hopefully, and then enjoy your evening. And it is so important that your home environment represents how you feel about yourself. And you want it to be a place where you feel safe and comfortable, and you want things to be exactly how you would like them to be. And for me, in the past, when I have lived with other people, I have always found it challenging to be able to create that space for myself, because I would leave something somewhere, and then if you're in a flat share or a house share, you often find that those things that you've left in a certain place have then moved because someone else has moved them, because they're trying to create the environment which they feel comfortable in. I'm so grateful now that I live on my own. So when I leave for work, things are exactly where I have left them. But that hasn't always been the case. And if you are someone currently who is in a flat share or a house share, just make that known to the person that you're with. I promise you, they're not going to take any offence if you say, oh, do you mind if I just put this here? If anything, they'd probably prefer that you spoke up and were honest about why you wanted to move certain things around. Or if you do live on your own, you have the privilege of being able to move things and know they're not going to get moved anywhere else, then make sure that things are exactly where you want them to be, and things are in a place which provide you with safeness, and they provide you with an environment which allows you just to feel really comfortable, because there's nothing worse than coming home after a really long day at work and the house is a complete tip. So do yourself a favour and make it a priority to yourself to clean whatever you need to do, so that when you come back from work, everything is in order and you don't need to spend your evening tidying up after yourself. That was something that I learned a couple of years ago, because I would just leave everything as it was. I have always been quite a tidy person ever since a young age, but if I was in a rush somewhere, I would just leave everything, and then I'd come back to that space where everything was kind of on the floor, and it would freak me out. I wanted to be able to come back to a space that was clean and tidy. And if you have friends round after work, for example, you don't want to bring them back to a messy home. No one would want to do that. So just make sure that your home environment is comforting you and it's serving you and it's giving you the mind space to be able to create your best work there as well, because it's so important that if you're working all day in an office and you come back and all you're doing is picking up after yourself or tidying, then that is actually the time in which you need to have downtime and the time that you need to relax, so that when you go back to the office the next day, you can show up, your cup is full, and you've got the energy and the motivation to create your best work. And it literally comes down to the silliest things, which aren't actually that silly. So I've been in my place now since March, so a good few months, and ever since I've moved in, I've told myself that I've wanted to get built-in wardrobes. It's something I've always wanted to do. I love seeing my clothes hanging up. It just brings me this satisfaction. If any of you can relate, please do reply to this podcast or send me a message, because seeing my clothes hanging up, it creates so much freedom in my mind, and I feel like my life is together. Like, you can see everything that you've got. It's so much easier than drawers. And recently I actually bought like a walk-in wardrobe, basically, and I swear to God, I'm like looking at it now. I can't believe I put it up on my own, because it is basically freestanding. It just clamps to the ceiling. 2, I can't believe it's still standing. And 3, like, I just feel like my mind is so much clearer, because ever since I've moved in, these clothes have just kind of been folded on top of each other in these little crates that I had. So every day I was kind of rummaging through these crates, trying to see what I had. And although I knew everything I had, it just makes my life so much easier, just visually being able to see everything hung in one space. And it just makes it look a lot tidier. So if you're someone like myself who likes seeing everything all at once, then definitely invest in one of these. And this isn't an ad, by the way. This is me literally just telling you how incredible this self-walk-in wardrobe is, because I can't stop staring at it and I'm absolutely obsessed, and it's something I've wanted to get forever. So whatever it is that you want to get for your home space, if you know it's going to make you feel better, invest in it, because it is so worth it. How you feel about where you live influences how you are on the outside world, and you should be house proud. Like, if you live somewhere and that is your space, you should be proud to show it off. And this relates really well to creating environments within your social circle. So like having your friends over to your place, you should want to show them your new sofa or your new hanging walk-in wardrobe, whatever it is. You should be proud of what you've created for yourself. And also, I would definitely say that creating an environment in your social circle which you feel comfortable seeing every single week is so important too. Your friends are basically the family that you choose. We hear that saying all the time, but it is so true. So if you are currently in a social group which doesn't make you feel good, I promise you there are 101 other people out there who would love to have you as a friend and love to have your support in life. Don't ever think that you need to stay inside a social circle which isn't serving you. This is something which I work one-on-one with a lot of clients, because a lot of people, as they get older, we all naturally change. And I think for the majority of us, we're so used to being with the same friendship circle because we've been friends with them forever, and there's kind of like a forcement that you have to stay with them because you've known them for a very long time. But that is not the case at all. Very often people grow apart, they change, their priority changes, values and morals also change as you go through life. So make sure that the environment in which your social circle is sitting is still serving you. Have a little social circle check. And I do this every couple of months, and I think, right, where are we at? When do we last see each other? What do we still have in common? And if it's not ticking all your boxes, there is no pressure there to walk, like no pressure there to not walk away. Don't feel bad if some setting isn't serving you anymore, or someone isn't showing up like they used to. Often these things can be ironed out with just a chat, but if they can't, then go and find other friends. There are so many people who would love to serve you, and loads of people as you get older who do have the same interest as you. And that's something that I've definitely found. As I've gone down the coaching route, there are so many coaches out there that I have become friends with, and you have so many interests and similarities. Don't be afraid to reach out to people, because there are so many beautiful friendships out there literally just waiting for you. And last but not least, if anything, I think this is the most important environment that you have access to. It is your personal environment. So it's how you feel within, how you show up for yourself, how you show up for others. It's how you feel about yourself. And so I could speak all day about how you could change how you feel about yourself. But the number one thing that you could do for yourself is to do things that make you feel good. Ignore all the pressures of social media. Ignore what everyone else tells you. Only you will know exactly what is right for you, and only you will be able to show up for yourself. So for me, what makes me feel good is so different to what made me feel good 2 years ago. So 2 years ago, I would work Monday to Friday, and then at the weekend I would go out, drink a silly amount and then feel awful on Monday. But this was a repetitive cycle for me. So I obviously wasn't very happy doing what I was doing Monday to Friday, and I just felt shit in myself, in all honesty. I wasn't doing anything that was going to help me in the long run, and I didn't know how to. And I think that was the main problem. I was stuck in this rut of thinking I knew what I had to do. I would go on social media and everyone would be out at the weekend. So for me, I thought, oh, well, that's what I've got to do. That's the norm. And thank goodness I broke that cycle. I found my personal trainer, who I've been with for just over 2 years now, and I have also invested a lot into self-development, and just being able to find those techniques allows you to change the environments that you think you are stuck in forever, because I promise nobody is stuck. There is always a way that you can change these things. So my week now is very different to how it looked 2 years ago, in the sense that I have more time freedom for myself. I'm able to choose the hours that I work in. I work part-time in a job, but the other half I am serving other people, recording podcasts like this, going to the gym, doing things that I know are going to help me in the long run. And that has been an absolute game changer for me. So if I could give you one piece of advice, it's to dig deep within yourself and find out what you really need. Do you need more time for yourself? Do you need to invest in your fitness? Do you need to invest in your mental health? There are people out there ready to help you. Obviously, I am here for anything personal development, mindset, anything that you are struggling with internally, I can help you with. So I will tag a note in my show notes for anyone who feels like they are struggling personally. And I actually offer free one-to-one clarity calls for people who are in this position. They're very short, 15 minutes, and I would love to help anyone who has struggled with anything internally or is currently going through something, because I promise you there is a light on the other side. You just have to take that first step in order to get there. Changing your personal environment is a complete game changer as well. It's something which is never ending. So once you find personal development and you realize all of these things can actually be improved upon, you never go backwards, you only grow, which I think is the most beautiful part of it. Thank you all so much for tuning in to Master Your Mindset with your host, me, Isis Foster. If you have enjoyed what I have shared with you today, I would really appreciate it if you could share it on your social media platforms and tag me at Isis Foster 1. My goal with creating this podcast is to reach as many people as possible and help them get to wherever they want to be. So if you're in that position of being able to share this, it would be very much appreciated. Can't wait for you to tune in to the next podcast episode. Have an amazing week.